from California, Seoul. Basically what I do, I like to make jewelry for the most part, but I do like to make, like I like to paint, do different stickers, sticker designs in like Adobe Illustrator. So pretty fun, different things like that. And yeah, I like to paint. Incense burners are a specialty of mine too, just because it's like each one's different and you can never recreate it the same, so that's what's the cool part about it. I have each one with a different design, different pattern. They're good for like meditation, if you just want your house to smell nice too, that's always really good. And then I also make wallets or coin purses, like whatever you want to call them. So yeah, these are the little purses and stuff like that. And then rings, hypoallergenic earrings. Yeah. I also like to sell lashes as well. I feel like lashes are the cherry on top of any makeup look. If you know me, I'm always wearing my vegan and cruelty-free lashes, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, so these are vegan and cruelty-free. I have two styles right now. These are called Eclipse, and these are the Luna eyelashes. These are more like wispy, and these are more like dramatic if you're going for like a night out, you're just trying to look real cute. Either way, either pair you get, they're pretty cute. They're the cherry on top of any makeup look. Yeah, so pretty much, I like the different crystals that you can use in like, like the healing crystals, if you believe in that kind of thing. So like I have a bunch of rings right here too, and each one means something different. So like you have turquoise, moonstone opal, malachite, all these different ones. Moonstone opal, good for feminine energy. Whoop whoop. Okay, so basically ever since I was little, my mom would always encourage us to like, color, or like she would buy us little coloring books and stuff like that. So I feel like that's what really inspired me to want to learn more about painting and like how to stay within the lines kind of thing. So yeah, another thing that inspired me is music. So basically what I like to do is I like to take song lyrics and convert them into art. So for example, I have this one. I try to convert it into art, like some Tame Impala lyrics. So this one I titled Depth of Touch because in Sundown Syndrome by Tame Impala, they have this lyric that says, "The depth of every touch is as real as you'll need." And that's kind of like the visual representation of how I would interpret it. And then aside from that, this one as well, there's a party in my head and no one's invited. That's also Tame Impala too. In Solitude is Bliss. So, and then I also like to, but aside from music, I also like to take from psychology words as well. This one's titled Tabula Rasa. That just basically means like when you're born, you have a blank slate. So it's kind of like the olds or what is known is kind of being torn off. So something like that.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Virtual Underground Experience, where you get to meet all the virtual artists, or not virtual, the real people, all the real artists and musicians through their band performances and through their video art displays, but also where you get to meet them behind the scenes throughout these interviews. So today, we actually have Destiny Cano with us. Everyone give it up for Destiny. And she is a local San Antonio artist. And she actually goes by the name of California Soul. No, hey Destiny, thank you so much for being here with us today
Yeah.
throughout this interview. You know, we're
Thanks
just
for
gonna ask you a couple questions about your art, your creative inspirations, and how the journey has treated you so far as a local San Antonio artist. First, Destiny, you can just go ahead, introduce yourself, Miss California Soul, you know, tell us where you're from, what kind of message you're trying to send through the people with your creative aspiration, and if you're going to school or not, you know, just tell us a little bit about yourself.
For sure. So I'm Destiny Cano. I go to UTSA. I'm majoring in psychology and minoring in wellness. So I can be a pediatric occupational therapist. That's like the end goal. I do different types of art basically. So I do paintings, jewelry, just different creative aspects of it. Meeting new people is my favorite part, honestly, just because you get to see different like crowds, different like artwork, just different local vendors really like inspire me to just work on myself and like be better at my craft, you know, so it's pretty cool.
Nice. That's really cool. So mainly jewelry is your thing. That's what I'm hearing. And you also like to do other creative aspects or other creative pieces as well?
Yeah, for sure. So I like to paint. I have like incense burners here.
Oh.
I can show you a few of them. Basically people like to use these to like meditate, just to like freshen up their house.
Oh, and you made those?
So yeah, I just paint them, little messages on them. Life is tough, but so are you.
That's
And
so cool. I love that.
yeah, thank you. And like little mushrooms too. So it's pretty fun.
Cool.
And little bags too. Right now I'm trying to work on, these are like little, I don't know if you can see that.
California Soul, yeah.
Yeah, so like I'm trying to make them more sustainable though, because I was using old fabric that I had. And basically we're using kind of like recycled fabric, so it's more, you know, eco-friendly, more sustainable. So that's the thing we're transitioning into right now, so it's pretty cool.
Nice, that's awesome. And what year of school are you in right now?
Right now I'm a junior. I graduate in 2 semesters, so
Okay.
yeah, I'm almost done, thankfully.
Okay, cool. Okay. We're in the exact same boat. So that means you're 21?
20.
20?
But I'll be
Okay.
21. So.
Nice. Okay, awesome.
So Destiny, explain your art and your creative process when you make it. Imagine you're explaining it to someone over the phone who can't see it like this. How would you describe it?
Basically, I would describe it as something. So for my paintings, I like it to be like kind of psychedelic. And when I do graphic design as well, I really like it to be kind of like otherworldly. So like I have, for example, I have paintings right here.
Yeah, please feel free to show us anything you have.
Definitely. So yeah, I have like this one right here.
Oh.
It's like, yeah, it's just something fun. It's like an eyeball with like a little mushroom inside. So I think they're really fun. And then I also, like I said, like to try to be sustainable. So I'll take like signs from work. I work at Target, like in the makeup section. So like we always have like cool signs, like advertising nail polish and stuff. So I'll just paint over them and like try to repurpose them.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
Wow.
Thank you. So yeah, this one's the one, it was like advertising like SE nail polish, and I just took it from work with their permission, and I just repurposed them and try to, you know, recreate them and repurpose them. So it's really fun. I like to do that with graphic design, like I said, and then with my paintings as well. So like I have this one too, cute little sunflower. I love sunflowers.
Love that. I love the whole psychedelic feel. You know, I see why your name is now California Soul. Like it goes so well with the art that you're doing. You know, especially all the colors. That's really cool. I see that almost being like a music album. You know, for like a psychedelic band.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's really awesome. Cool. So Destiny, who and what are your creative influences? What do you think influences you the most, and what do you think inspires you to create your art?
Yeah, I think honestly music kind of inspires me. Like it's kind of weird sounding, but at the same time, like I like to take song lyrics and try to, you know, make art out of them. So like Tame Impala, I don't know if you've heard of them.
Yeah, yeah.
Favorite, yeah. I try to take their lyrics and like turn it into something like that, how I would picture it. So like for this one I made stickers, and yeah, like this one's based off lyrics, and this other one based off my like tattoo. I have a tattoo right here.
Cool.
Yeah, just the growth mentality, you know, just
Yeah.
making evolve or remain kind of thing.
Yes, I'm seeing a lot of sunflower themed going
Yeah,
on, right?
I love
Going
sunflowers.
on in your life.
Yes, they're
That's
just good
cool.
energy, so it's
Nice.
really nice.
So you say the main music that inspires your art is Tame Impala. Are there any other musicians that you think, that you
Um,
get influence from to create your work?
yeah, I'd probably say maybe like Still Woozy, just because like his
Yeah.
sounds are really like wavy, and it's like whenever I think of music, I think of having like a lot of like waves. Like if you converted the sound to like art, I feel like
Physical
it'd be, like,
form. Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. That's just what I think of, so it's really fun.
No, that totally makes sense, and even coinciding together, that's extremely psychedelic. Like when you're seeing a picture and whenever you're hearing the music, it totally goes together.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really cool.
So, what does your art mean to you? And do you use it as an artistic outlet to create your art or to communicate a message? Or what does it mean to you?
Yeah, I just think it's really free, like whenever you're thinking of something or if you're feeling like kind of sad, you can turn to art and just make it like come to life and really like inspire someone to be like, yo, like that's cool. I want to create art. Like I want to paint or something. Like I don't know, a lot of my friends like they've told me like I've inspired them to like paint more and just like do more art cuz like not a lot of people have been really appreciating it with all our busy lives and stuff. So it's just like
Yeah.
feels good to like be able to be that person to be like, hey, like chill out, let's paint, let's chill. So it's really fun.
Yeah.
So
Especially at a time like this, most definitely.
yeah.
Like I know now more than ever, you probably have more time for your work and for your art, you know?
Mm, I don't know.
You're like, no, I'm so busy.
No, yeah, they give me like 40 hours a week at work
Oh,
as
wow.
an essential worker, so it's like kind of difficult. I work at a grocery store at Target,
Yeah.
and yeah, they're just maxing out our hours and just giving us like crazy like I don't know. It's just a lot. So it's good though. I like to keep
Yeah.
busy. So
Of course,
yeah,
and you want to stay busy at a time like this. But hopefully
yeah.
you still have time for your art because it's really great stuff, you know?
Thank you so
Nice.
much.
That's really cool. So, Destiny, do you think that there's like a common pattern or theme that's going on with your art and everything you create? Like, is there a certain mood that you have to be in when you're creating your art, or is it all pretty spontaneous?
Some of it's spontaneous, but I know whenever I do create, I do have to be in like a creative mindset
Yeah.
because I don't know. It's just if you're sad, like it's kind of harder to be like creating. You're just like, but I don't know. I'm not really sad a lot of the time, so it's just like constantly trying to create, paint, make jewelry, stuff like that. And yeah, like you said, like a common theme would be like having sunflowers. Like in my art, I just love sunflowers so much. And like my whole logo, it's just sunflowers. Like my room too, it's just they're just so happy. Like I feel like that's how I am
Yeah.
as a person. Like if I was a flower, I would be a sunflower. Like I don't know.
Most
So it's
definitely.
cool. Yeah, I just really enjoy them like a lot. So
So we can catch sunflowers, like hidden sunflowers, in any of your future paintings or in any of your future art pieces. Like we can look out for that.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
definitely. Thank
nice.
you.
So, you mentioned that during this COVID-19 pandemic, your employer has been really maximizing your hours. Has it has hindered a part of your art making or the time you were to spend on it or the mental energy to create your art? How has it affected your art?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like I said, like each week I've been getting 40 hours. So 40 hours with 6 classes on top of that, trying to teach ourselves the material, it's kind of been kind of hectic. People are complaining we don't have sanitizer, we don't have soap, we don't have yoga mats or like whatever they need. And
Yeah.
it's kind of draining, but at the same time, like it only makes you stronger as a person, like not feeding into that like, oh, they yelled at me kind of thing. It's just more like I don't know, just take it and move on because at the same time, you gotta be strong through these times. You
Yeah.
can't be crying over someone yelling at you because it's gonna happen a lot. Tensions are high, but as long as you come through and just know that they're not out to get you, it's just a weird time. So
Yeah. Most
mhm.
definitely. And I know a lot of people are acting like victims right now because of the situation.
Yeah. I'm
And
like,
if anything, you're the one that's helping because you're working at Target itself, and all we go to now, the only place that we can go to are grocery stores. So
yeah,
that's cool. If anything, you're helping people. Um,
definitely. Yeah. That's how I try to look at it. So it
yeah,
is what it is, you know?
nice. And do you think that that itself has affected your art? You know, like the art process, or even just not being able to go to art stores anymore and getting art supplies. You know, like
Yeah,
have you been using different substitutes or?
yeah, it's definitely slowed it down. That's why I've been trying to use more sustainable fabrics, like I said, because I
Uh-huh.
had like t-shirts, old curtains, you know, like you wash them and then you can repurpose the fabric. So it's
Yeah.
sustainable too. So it's really nice, you know, trying to figure out what I have around my room to try to, you know, incorporate it. So
Yeah, nice.
it's
That's
fun.
really cool. Always finding a way, of course. Nice.
Yeah, definitely.
So, how long have you been doing this? How long have you been creating for?
Yeah.
And do you think that your technique has changed over time, or do you think that the way you make art has changed over time? Or have you always been pretty, you know, bubbly and into the whole soul persona and very into, you know, just light art?
Yeah, pretty much. I've been doing this for about a year. I started it
Uh-huh.
March of 2019. So yeah, we've been about a
Oh,
year. Um, what's it called? Yeah, I've been, you know, changing up the artwork. Like at first I was just drawing like random stuff I'd see like on the internet, you know. I feel like that's how I started. Like just shaping like how you draw like eyes and stuff like that. But
uh-huh.
then you really get your own creative twist to it, and then you start to, you know, incorporate it differently and just make sure it's, you know, different and it's just still psychedelic. So it's really fun for me, you know, just changing it up, seeing what I can work with, especially on graphic design too. I use Adobe Illustrator, and it's just real fun, you know, to use all the shapes and all the waves. So it's real
Yeah.
nice.
Okay. So you do a lot, like a lot of different creative aspects, you know, not just
Yeah, I
the
try.
photography, but also drawing and also using Adobe. And
Yeah,
it's only been a year. You said that you only started this a year ago. That's pretty crazy.
thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, well, congratulations on getting so far because I mean, it seems like you've already done a lot of work
Yeah,
within just a year's time.
Are there any examples of public art that people can see in the world or in San Antonio or maybe even on your own social medias?
yeah, we have Facebook and Instagram for California Soul. The app's just California Soul Jewelry. That's where you can find me. And around town, I like to stick like stickers and just like have people
Oh.
see them, you know, display them. So hope I don't get in trouble for that. But if you have a
Find a
problem,
sign like randomly at school or maybe like on the ceiling,
yeah,
of the elevators.
I do that like walking towards like the second lot in like I think it's called like Bar Shop 2 or no Brackenridge 2. I like stick
Yeah.
and like just around just so people can like see them. I just think it's fun, you know. And if my friends travel, I'll be like, hey guys, take a few stickers, like stick them wherever. So it's real fun, you know, because they're in different parts of the world, like just randomly there. And I get people from
Yeah.
like some people actually follow, so it's really cool just seeing that. So it's just something
That's
fun.
cool. That's like leaving your imprint everywhere. So whenever they do see your sign, they do see your logo and they know it's you.
Yeah, so it's fun, you know.
What have you found to be the best method of promoting yourself as an artist other than I mean that actually is a really good way to promote yourself, putting your brand everywhere. But are there any other methods of promoting yourself that you found to be really good, you know, as an entrepreneur? Because I feel like artists really have to treat themselves like entrepreneurs nowadays, like doing all the work, it's all self-made.
Mhm.
Are there any other ways that you've been promoting yourself?
Yeah, so I've been trying to do like pop-ups, like it's wherever you go and you just vend your stuff. Like I like to go to the Brick at Blue Star. That's like my favorite place because they always have different events and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So there's other vendors there, and then usually they have like a band performing. So it's super fun just to like meet the other vendors, see the other bands, and you each like get exposure because like people will record and then they'll tag you. So it's just that's kind of how I like to promote the best way, just by showing up and being like, "Yo, I'm here, check it out," you know. So it's really cool.
Nice. That's awesome. So you definitely do a lot of networking, even as an artist, you know,
Yeah.
like talking to different people, going to random places.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's really good to hear.
Are you interested in exploring other avenues of making art, or are you pretty satisfactory with what it is you're making and just to hone in on that craft specifically?
Yeah, honestly, like I'm never satisfied like with what I make. Like I love what I make, but at the same time, I feel like I'm always like I could do this differently. I could do this better. I've been trying to get into like ceramics, so I still needed like a fine art credit at UTSA. So I
Mm.
was trying to try to take ceramics and try to make some, earrings or like just try to figure out what I can use with different material because I'm constantly trying to better my craft. So I started with necklaces and then I moved to earrings, rings, paintings, incense, bags. I'm constantly trying to figure out like what can I do to make this like cooler. So
Yeah.
it's pretty fun.
And are there any projects that you're working on currently, or just anything like your favorite piece of art that's taking you a long time to make,
Yeah, about that. I'm constantly working on like makeup bags that like I'll show you. Like they look like this. This is like the first one I made. I made it like a day ago. But they say the logo, but like you pull them and they're like kind of like drawstring, so you keep your makeup in there. Cause I like to travel, like go to different places. And you just tie it closed, and it's supposed to be like real convenient, so you can open it, and then all your makeup like lays out, just flat.
Oh,
That's a new thing. It's still a work in progress. I'm running out of materials, so it's kind of hard to try to figure out what I have, like I said, but that's one of the projects. And then I'm working on a few more stickers. I have them created. It's just like fine tuning the little details. And then my favorite painting, like you mentioned, I just finished it. I hung it up in my room, and then my dog grabbed it off the wall, and then he ate it. So that one took me a
what?
long. Yeah, it took me a long time to make, but then he ended up eating it. So
I would be so mad.
I was super upset. I was like, dude, you're sleeping outside tonight, but it's okay. I feel like the process.
Okay, yeah.
You can only do so much. So I was like, it's worth it.
Yeah. It'll come back. I feel like you're gonna make tons of more just like that. Make a replacement like right away.
Right.
Dang, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, well, hey, Destiny, we're gonna go into our would you rather questions to get to know you more as a person. Just certain situations that you would pick. Would you rather have 1,000 people buy and wear your jewelry, or have one celebrity wear your jewelry and make a shout out to you on TV?
I do the celebrity one
Yeah.
probably because you can still get like that 1,000 people, with one person. So it kind of like they can promote it, but then they can be like, yo, like check this out. So you can kind of get the best of both worlds if you think about it. So
Yeah.
I think that's what I would do.
Most definitely. Yeah, kind of like Beats, like you just have one celebrity, like an endorsement, and then everybody wears. Yeah.
Exactly.
With your art, would you rather have your works displayed in a gallery, perhaps in a museum or some sort of, or at Brick, like you mentioned earlier, or sell everything DIY at different craft shows, or just selling it on social media? Which one would you rather, in a larger setting or in a more DIY setting?
I'd probably say DIY setting because like galleries are cool, but at the same time, like I feel like they don't have that like touch to them, like that like personal, like it's not as personal. Because if it's on the wall, I feel like it's just gonna be like, oh, that's cool, like I could admire that, but people will like wear it, they'll support it more, and it's just I feel like that would be more.
Yeah,
like,
especially like in local shops, you always see the artist and then all the work's displayed right in front of them. So exactly, you get that feeling like, oh, that person right there made all this. You can actually talk to the artist. So yeah, I agree. Cool. So Destiny, your next question. Would you rather die with the reputation of being an artistic genius yet mentally unstable, just like a lot of artists in the past, a lot of crazy artists, or die with the reputation of being a good artist yet mentally stable, like you're okay, but you're just an okay artist?
Wow.
Yeah, I know, that got a little dark.
I'd probably say, I don't know, what do you define like mentally unstable?
I guess I'm thinking about like Van Gogh type, cutting your ear off. like pretty, you know, like, oh, he's famous, like everyone knows who he is, but
I mean, honestly, I'd probably not pick that one just because it's like, I really don't care, like, if I'm, like, famous, you know? Fame is never my, like, priority. It's just giving people, like, what they want, you know? Like, just making cool stuff, you know, that people are gonna be like, "Oh, that's cool, let me buy it." Like, you know, just appreciating it, you know? I don't have to be famous or cut my ear off, so.
Yeah, I feel that. Cool. It gives me a little better sense of who you are. It's not about the fame, just what the people want. You're just here to make cool jewelry and here to make cool art.
Bring the conversation back to the inspirational business side of it. What advice would you give to young artists out there in San Antonio or in the market in general who are trying to make this art a career or their art a career? What advice would you give them?
Yeah, I just say you know, exposure is really important. Just make sure, like, you're networking, you're seeing what's up with other people, and, like, don't be like, "Oh, like, my art's, like, the best." Like, you wanna be, you know, just be like, "Yo, like, buy other people's art." Like, even if you make art, you know? Like, I know I buy paintings, like, from my friends. Like, even though I paint, it's like they have their own touch to things that you can really learn from, you know? You can always learn from someone else, so.
Most definitely. And you know, I know especially in this time and generation, so many people compete because this is a very creative new generation. Like we are the up and coming artists, we're the up and coming musicians.
Yeah.
You know, and it can get competitive. So I like that attitude, that mentality of just support each other. You know, so yes, be competitive, but like in a healthy way.
Yeah,
Way that
definitely,
you
like,
support each other. With musicians out there, or not musicians, artists and people that are trying to do the same thing you are doing, you know, for those times when they get discouraged and even those times when they feel like they're doing really well, you know, for them not to feel like they're being complacent, what advice would you give, you know, for those artists when they feel like they're down, you know, just for them to pursue, for them to just like stay motivated and
yeah.
to, because art, it's, I mean, this is a tough career. To pursue this as a career, it's pretty tough. You know, and even as a hobby to make a living off of it, it's still pretty tough. So what advice would you give to people out there that are just getting pretty discouraged, you know, thinking that their art will never make it or it will never see the light of day?
Yeah, I'd say just, like, keep going, you know? Like, it might suck at first. Like, I know I've been to pop-ups where I've, like, sucked, like, I haven't sold. You know, like, you sell some stuff, but, like, it's like, man, like, do people not like it? Like, sometimes it's just the crowd, you know? You have to you just have to know, like, who you're trying to sell to, you know? Like, who your audience is. It's like when you're writing, too. Like, you have to know your audience, you know?
Yeah.
And just keep, you know, looking at different pop-ups, different events, and try going different places because it might just be the place that the crowd is like not tailored towards your stuff. So like I know I sell to like a lot of college students, and I went to a pop-up one time, and it was like, you know, it was an older crowd, so it was kind of like, yo, like what are these? Because I was selling like roach clips too, so it was kind of like, oh, like it was awkward, but it was cool still. You know, you meet new people
Yeah.
there. But at the same time, like I probably wouldn't go again just because like the crowd was older and
Yeah.
they're more like, you know, more like conservative. So like they didn't really like the art how it was like.
Yes. I already know what you mean.
So I was like, but it was cool though. Like I still had a good time, but at the same time, I tell the people who are feeling discouraged, just be like, yo, like it's cool. You're not, you know, you can't win them all, you know.
Yeah,
Just
for
keep going.
sure.
As long as you share your art with like, you know, people, they enjoy it. It's cool. So
Definitely.
yeah.
What I'm mainly hearing is that you're the constant and they're the variable. You know, like, just stay consistent in your work and everything else will fall into place and you'll meet the right people.
Yeah, pretty much. So it's
Yeah,
really
good. Well, thank you so much, Destiny, for your time today.
Thank you so much for
Yes, and for taking the time to interview with us. You know, so everyone go ahead and follow Destiny California Soul on Instagram, on all her social media accounts. We'll go ahead and post that right below the postings. And also feel free to stay tuned with our up and coming postings throughout the week of May 4th to May 8th. We're going to release different band performances, different art video displays, you know, funny video moments from bands throughout Underground Week. And then we're going to have our Underground virtual video, a watch party on Facebook at 7 p.m. on May 8th. So stay tuned for all that. That's all coming up right before finals week as well. So yes, and also feel free to follow us, Musicians of Business, M.O.B, UTSA underscore M.O.B, UTSA underscore underground. Yeah, and you know, just one last thing, Destiny, I just want to say on behalf of M.O.B, on behalf of Musicians of Business, I know it's really tough to go through with your art and honestly just to own who you are, because art really is just an expression of who you are. You know, everybody has their own touches to it, and your art's very creative. So yeah, I just want to say on behalf of M.O.B that will always support you in your journey and your pursuits of art. Whether or not you want to do this as a full-time career, as a hobby, we'll always support you. So yes, everyone, welcome Destiny to the Virtual Underground Experience. Thank you so much for being here today. Yeah, definitely. Cool. Well, that's all the time that we have for today. Yeah, and we'll go ahead and see you guys next time. Bye.